Hello and welcome to another episode of a Weekly Deathmatch. I was going to play an online match of Unreal Tournament, but this is the only kill I got in the entire match because the skill level is so goddamn high. So instead, we're going to be playing Instagib against bots at Adept level because that actually provided a decent enough challenge for me. My whole thing throughout this game was trying to make sure I ended the game in first place, and it was actually quite challenging. I will not spoil whether I accomplished my goal or not. You will just have to watch the video. I don't believe I've ever actually played Instagib in this version of Unreal Tournament before, and I have to say I really like how the shock rifle feels, and it was quite fun, so I might do it again sometime. I decided to play Unreal Tournament because obviously I can't record Quake Champions. We've been over that over the last month. But I was trying to think of something I haven't really done before, because I'm not really playing much Overwatch or Destiny 2 right now. I was playing a lot of Destiny 2 up until about like a week ago when I logged on after a few days of inactivity, and it turned out that most of the progression that I was working towards was in the form of weekly bounties, and whenever like I lose a whole bunch of progression, I immediately get put off a game, and that's kind of what's happened. So thanks, Bungie. What I'm kind of referring to there is I think I mentioned it on the live stream, but I didn't archive because it was too low quality. That's a whole different thing. But there is a thing to upgrade your synthesizer, which you use to get better gambit gear, and for some reason that's a weekly bounty, and it should not be a weekly bounty. That should just be a pursuit. Like, that should just be a permanent pursuit, because it is a thing you are working towards over time, but it's a permanent unlock. And anyway, that's fine. That's just basically why we're not playing Destiny today. But also I did want to change, and I was looking at the games I have and wondering what I can play that I haven't really played much. And Unreal Tournament is obviously the one I went with, but it's not like I haven't played this on the channel before. One thing I did realise while I was recording this is that there is a free game that is an arena shooter, but it also lets you edit the map on the fly if you want to. It doesn't have to be enabled. And it, like, I love this game, and I haven't played it in ages either. I was just like, why have I never showcased this on the Weekly Deathmatch? I live in fear of this game dying. Oh, I haven't said which game it is yet. It's called Cube 2 Sauerbraten. Or Sauerbraten, as I think I always used to pronounce it, but I think it's Sauerbraten. It's like a German game, and it's so good. It's like a Quake-like kind of game. The base deathmatch isn't very good. I usually play Instagib. Like, there's not many weapons, and most of the weapons don't feel great. But the kind of Instagib feels great, and like it's got so many community-made maps, like so many. And last time I played, there were still some active servers around as well, and it's really easy to just load up a game of bots and have fun. So, if I remember, that will be next week's Weekly Deathmatch, and I really look forward to showing that off. But this week is Unreal Tournament, and I'm still sad that they cancelled this game. But speaking of games that they have not cancelled, Borderlands 3 just got announced, and I'll go into greater depth of discussing my kind of opinion of a Borderlands franchise in future videos, but something I am excited almost as much about is the fact that they are remastering Borderlands 1 finally. When they announced the Handsome Collection, where they kind of remastered, I don't know if it's like a full remaster, but they kind of updated Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel a little bit. I always thought it was stupid that they completely ignored the first game, which is the one that needed the most attention, so it's nice to see that they're finally doing that. And it'll be a free upgrade for PC owners. As with all Borderlands games, I've never completed it, but I do plan on starting a new game when this update comes out, and I suppose there's nothing from stopping me from beginning it now, and then like it'll just update halfway through my playthrough, but realistically you kind of want to start a new playthrough of it. It happens April 3rd, so I think I'll probably be doing that the second it comes out. I don't know if it's going to come out in the evening though. If it does, I'll have to wait till Thursday, but it's just really put me in the mood for some Borderlands, but at the same time, like, I kind of don't want to play any Borderlands until it comes out. So there's that. I did play a little bit of one of the games recently, but I don't know, like, it was before the announcement stuff came out, so now I'm just kind of waiting. And like I said, I've been put off Destiny a bit, so I kind of got a shooter hole in my life right now, which sounds really bad now that I say it out loud. I should probably rephrase that. Another thing I want to mention is I've been playing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild a lot lately, like I got back into it. I don't know if I mentioned it on last week's Weekly Deathmatch, because I think I was playing it around then as well. But I did the first Divine Beast, although there's no order to them, but I did like the elephant one, and now I'm kind of working my way up to the lizard one on Death Mountain. And I just want to mention, that is the most infuriating? Oh, it's the most infuriating part of the game. Because fucking... You have to fire this Goron dude, right, out of this cannon at these enemies, which is basically the way you have to kill them. And the fucking aim on it, I swear to God, I am firing him straight. I've done this multiple times. I've checked my aim as I'm doing it. I'm firing him straight at the thing, at the right time, and for whatever reason, he veers off randomly to the right or to the left, and he just completely misses it. Once, I fired him at it, and he veered... Well, he didn't veer anywhere, he just kind of went in front of it, and it wasn't one of the circling ones, and I have no idea why he did it. And just, so frustrating. I haven't actually finished that little part of the game yet, because I had to stop playing. I think I ran out of time, I had to go to work, but I haven't picked it up again, because I've been quite frustrated. It's one of those things that I'm going to have to try and, like, force myself to do, because otherwise I'm going to, you know, fall off playing the game again. I think there's another game like that, although it's not because of any particular reason, but... Assassin's Creed Origins is a game I've got into playing twice, and like not from a new save the second time, but just back into what I was already doing, and I've fallen off it again, so I'm going to have to get into it a third time. But Assassin's Creed has the benefit of being set in the real world, so I don't have to worry about forgetting about all of the mythos and like what's happening, and the story isn't really that interesting. Like, it's mostly the gameplay you're in it for, so I'll probably get back into Assassin's Creed Origins at some point later this year. I want to finish that game so I can start Odyssey, or I can buy Odyssey to begin with and then start it, which I'll probably do on PS4 instead of PC, because my PC has a little bit of trouble running Origins. For some reason I was like, wait, am I talking about Dragon Age? I think my brain just farted. Speaking of my body doing weird things, by the way, at some point, I'm not sure, I think it's happening right now to be honest, but I started choking while I was recording this, just like I swallowed the wrong way and started coughing, and I was trying to keep it together because I didn't want to have to like pause the recording and, you know, deal with that situation. But at some point I do just start coughing my lungs up. I don't know if you can see in the aiming reticle kind of bobbing up and down, or if it started happening yet or not at all. I don't remember, but there's a fun bit of trivia for you. I almost died. Also, I totally messed up this quad kill. So one thing I've noticed about the bots as well, because this wasn't a finished game, it didn't have all the polish, this isn't actually a finished map, this is quite a low textured map, but one of the things I noticed is some of the bots every now and again just stand still, and that's a real fucking shame, because I love playing against bots in Unreal Tournament games, and to see them break occasionally is a little saddening. Like, it doesn't really bother me, but I know that it will put a lot of people off, because it's like, well, you get a free kill every now and again, and that's not really competitive. That's a little bit dumb. And I think it started happening more towards the end of a map, so I don't know if it's just like if you run them for too long they just kind of start to break. I don't know anything about AI or how this kind of stuff normally works, but yeah. Rambling a bit now. Good thing we're getting towards the end of a video, isn't it? See, what I've been doing in some of the more recent weekly death matches is when I run out of things to say, I don't immediately try and grab a new thing from my brain to pick out and talk about, or I don't have a notepad of things to talk about anymore. I just pause the recording and then continue again when I've got something new to talk about, and for the most part you can't really tell it happens in the actual playback. There's a couple of obvious moments where I'm like, anyway, I'm going to talk about this kind of thing, but for the most part you can't really tell. But yeah, thank you for watching this week's episode of a weekly deathmatch. There are 10 seconds left in the match. Will I hit first place? I mean, I'm going to try real hard. You can see me trying right now. See? Bam! He's dead. And I lost. Sad times. I'm going to have to try again. I'm going to have to step my game up. I've definitely run out of things to talk about. What are you still doing here? Oh yeah, I started shit talking the bots. So we should probably just end video.